Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Today we have Coach Calvin Betton on with Luke Johnson and Sander Arends. Guys, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having us.
So y'all are into the quarterfinals tomorrow at the French Open. You've had a couple of close matches. Luke, I guess I'll start with you. How has the time in Paris been so far, and what'd you make of the match yesterday specifically?
I mean, the time in Paris has been great. I mean, whenever you're still in the tournament, halfway through the second week, that seems to be a good tournament. But yeah, I mean, the match yesterday was difficult. We knew the sort of game style that Lloyd and Julian play. They're both great servers and great. They take care of their service games so well. That sort of puts pressure on opponents, and we knew that we were going to have to hopefully like take care of our own service games and then try and break and maybe get a few opportunities where we can, which is maybe a little easier on the clay than some other surfaces. And then in the end, yeah, it came right down to the wire, saving a match point and then playing a good tie break and being able to sort of just get over the line there. It was a close match, yeah.
hmm And Sander, I want to hear from you. So y'all won the first set in this match, lost the second 6-2. What do you do between a second and third set like that to kind of reset and retake momentum a bit?
As you said, reset, reset, and yeah. I mean, it's very important to have the right mindset and the right energy at the beginning of the third set. So yeah, it was good just to take a little bit time off, reset, like just to find the right way, the right strategy, and I think we came out very strong in the third set, which helped us, yeah, to get the victory in the end of the day.
hmm Is there a process you have for resetting like that? Like, do y'all like to just take a little bit longer bathroom break or like go through maybe some strategy or just kind of cool yourself off? What specifically do you do to kind of reset both mentally and physically?
I think it's very personally and depending on the situation. So
hmm
for everyone, I think for everyone it's different. Like most of the times, you just stay on court and you. I mean, I don't like to use too many like toilet breaks. Yesterday we did once, but I mean on clay it's a bit better to do it because they have to sweep the court and to put one on the court anyway, so you're not delaying the game too much. Um, but yeah, I mean, for me, it's about what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to raise my energy, to move a little bit, to get some tension on the legs, maybe scream one or two times to get like everything out. So yeah, I mean, this kind of things are helping me. And then for other players, maybe they have different things that work for them.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd add to that, Luke, that maybe you like to do that Sander didn't mention or doesn't do?
No, I think it is very much dependent on the situation and the match. Like Sander said, they sweep and they water the court on the clay, so it's a chance there rather than sitting on the court. You can go to the bathroom. I mean, you obviously go to the bathroom, but it's just you have like a fresh mind coming back on the court because you've not just been sat on the court for the whole time. I mean, I don't, as a team, we don't generally take bathroom breaks, but yeah, I mean, for me, I think I like to, yeah, you use the word reset, and I think that's probably the best way, and just try and almost you go over like it's almost a new match starting. You sort of just clarify the tactics or clarify the certain things. It's almost you use it as like a pre-match chat again, but you do it between sets. So you sort of figure out what you're trying to achieve, what tactics you want, what energy you want from the team, and really use it as a fresh start.
And Calvin, what about from your perspective? You're in the player box. Obviously, after they lose the second set, maybe there are some adjustments to be made. What are you kind of looking for and looking to communicate to them?
Um, I think it varies. I mean, I think yesterday there wasn't anything tactically to do anything different. What we know from Luke and Sander is that their game style and their identity is that they're a high pressure team. They keep putting pressure on opponents with a returning, especially. And it's just making sure that that is maintained and they don't drop off from that level. The one thing I know with Luke and Sander from having watched them over the past year is that they just keep coming, and you've got to as an opponent, you've really got to put them away because they'll just keep on coming again with pressure on return games. They'll take care of their serves and they'll just keep on putting pressure, and they don't lose many matches themselves. Teams have to beat them, and yesterday it was an impressive factor for me that after the second set, there was no let up. They just came back fully firing in the third and broke early in the third set.
Do you, so your role in the box, do you feel like it changes for Luke and Sander versus Harry and Henry, or are you kind of looking for the same things, have your same kind of process?
No, I mean, I think during a match, it's limited what we can do anyway. There might occasionally there's some little tactical changes that we can
Hmm.
try. But in the heat of a match and that kind of thing, you're not giving many sort of technical changes or that kind of thing. They just want to see some belief and some high energy. I think it's always important, especially in doubles, that the energy's kept high, and they need to see that. And that me and Stefan, who's Sanders' coach and physio, that we're always sort of keeping um the right image to them when they look over to us, and that's one of being positive and calm and fired up and ready to compete again. But what, like I say, one of the things that the lads have done is they've really developed their identity as a team. They know what they're doing. That's the thing with Luke and Sander. They really do, I think, almost as well as any team. They work in tandem on all their points, and they know what they have to do, and they basically challenge opponents to beat that. And if they can, then fair enough. But not many have managed to do that recently.
Luke and Sander, so today's an off day, then you've got a match tomorrow. How did you spend your off day? I know it's not quite over yet, but it's about 5 o'clock there. And is there anything specific you like to do in your off day to kind of get away from the tennis, or are you spending most of the day kind of thinking about tomorrow's match? How do you handle that?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Sander.
I think for both of us it's different, and also depending on what kind of day. Like so far, we're getting deep into the second week, so we are already here for almost 2 weeks. So it's really important to get that refreshments and everything that you are recharged for tomorrow. So today we had a very light hit, like 30, 40 minutes, like taking it easy, have some fun, but let's move the body, hit some balls, get some feel, and then get out and get a massage or like stretch or get to the hotel room, like those things. And earlier on in the week, we could say like, no, we're gonna play some practice points because we feel we want to work on a few things. And so it really depends again on the situation. I think pro tennis is all about feeling of what you need in what kind of like in a specific moment, and it can vary. And if you're getting older and if you're getting more experience for yourself and with each other, then it's more fluently. You can say like, okay, now I don't feel it today like this, or I feel like that, and then you can just go on from there.
Hmm. Luke?
Yeah, I think it's the thing about Grand Slams and it being our first one that we've made into the second week is that they are just by nature of being the biggest tournaments, they're emotionally and mentally probably more tiring. Tennis wise, physically, I would say I know we play a full third set, but physically it's not a massive issue, the difference between a full third set and the third set tiebreak, but it's more of the mental and emotional sort of toll that the matches take on you. And I think that's the biggest thing we're trying to really take care of on a day off. We play a little bit of tennis, but then we try. I know I've tried to spend little time at the courts today, not really doing too much thinking towards tomorrow. I mean, a little bit later tonight, I'll probably start like switching the thoughts to tomorrow, but really trying to give myself almost a day since we finished yesterday, 24 hours since the end of our match yesterday, just to sort of regenerate the mind.
So I think y'all don't. Do you have a match time for tomorrow for the quarterfinal match?
Not yet, no.
Not yet. Okay. So let's say it's at noon. What would the next 24 hours or 20 hours or so look like? What time would you go to bed, wake up, eat breakfast, hit before for a noon match?
I mean, I can go for me. I would say noon. You're gonna see me working through. I'll start at noon and work backwards. So I guess we like about an hour from our pre-match hit finishing to playing. So I'd say we maybe hit 10:30 to 11. Then we do our pre-match chat at 11. So then 10:30, I leave the hotel at 9:30. I'm up at 8:30. So then that means I then need to go to sleep at 10:30.
Okay.
There we go. I've figured it all out there. So try and go to sleep at 10:30. Give myself a chance to get a full 10 hours sleep. Unlikely I'll get it, but at least I'll be in bed at that point. And then before 10:30, just dinner. And Calvin does a great job, but he does a lot of the scouting for us. Obviously, we've played Roger Vassilan and Nice individually and together. We played them early this year, so we have an idea of what they're going to do. But Calvin does a lot of the data, or gives us a lot of the data. So he'll give us that later today, and then we sort of read it and have our own thoughts. And then in the pre-match chat at an hour before the match, we'll sort of we'll all get together and do it from there.
Do you have any specific like meals that you eat the night before or the day of a match?
I don't. But I'm fairly relaxed. I try to get obviously some try to keep it healthy, and it would be something like probably some sort of pasta or something. I would say would be the most common, or like a burrito bowl if I'm in the States.
Okay. Got it.
But maybe yeah, I'm not. Sander might have something different.
Yeah, I can see him smiling, so maybe he has a good answer to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm smiling because Luke says, "Yeah, I'm pretty relaxed," and like, yeah, I'm also relaxed, but I have certain ways how to prepare and to be in the right shape. Like, I like to have things fixed. Like, for example, if I take a shower in the beginning of the week, then I will take that shower the whole week. But I'm not like if it's occupied, I'll take a different one. Like, I'm not gonna wait for another 10 minutes to until it's free. But yeah, so far before the first three matches, I made three orders with lasagna the day before. So I guess tonight is gonna be lasagna for the fourth time.
Awesome. Um, Calvin, talk about how you prepare for a match. So obviously you had two teams in the quarterfinals, so I'm sure you've been working a lot. How do you go about preparing for this quarterfinal match tomorrow? What's your kind of process for that?
Um, I mean, tonight I will do, like Luke said, I generally do some scouting. We have a lot of data in British doubles from matches that our opponents have played previously, and we can like stuff on serve directions, moves that they like to make, and that kind of thing. So I'll sort of send the lads a scouting report based mainly on data, and then often some notes afterwards about what I've noticed when I've seen those guys play before and that kind of thing. Just usually like 5 or 6 bullet points that we can expect that maybe aren't covered in the data. Um, and then I'll normally send that to the lads about 9 o'clock at night, depending when I get back. I've been so busy with having two teams here, it's sometimes been a little bit later. I'm basically sleepwalking at this point and just watching tennis and looking at diagrams of tennis courts and numbers for about the last 7 weeks, I think. I haven't been. I've the lads won in Barcelona. Luke and Sander won in Barcelona, and I've not had a day off since the day we started before that. So that was, I think, 7 weeks ago.
It was a while
Six.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. And then tomorrow morning, I'll usually see they can do their warm. They don't need me standing in the gym while they do their pre-match warm up. Like a lot of players, coaches seem to think that they need that, but they don't need me there to do that. So then I'll usually sort of get there just before we go to the court. and then we'll do pre-match. But yeah, just making sure that the lads are comfortable and ready. Me and Stefan will do that, and then I think it's important both, like for example, tomorrow to treat it like any other match, while also having the knowledge that it's a Grand Slam quarterfinal. So it needs sort of that managing, but it's still just a tennis match that is the same as we could play Nice and Roger, like Luke said, we played Nice and Roger Vasselin in a ATP 500 earlier this year. It's just a case of taking every ball on its merit and treating every match on its merit as well, and making sure we're ready to play. And the lads will be ready to play, and we'll be ready in the box, ready to give them what they need during the match.
So last question, how have the doubles crowds been in Paris, and how do you feel like Roland Garros treats the doubles as compared to maybe some of the other Grand Slams or tournaments on tour?
I mean, for me, like, I think the crowds have been excellent throughout. Different sort of crowds. I know in the first match, we played Jarry and Demolina, and there was quite a lot of sort of South American energy there and that kind of thing. And then in the next round, I guess even though there were no real local fans, I think we still had quite a big crowd, didn't we, lads, there on the same court.
Yeah,
Um, and then yesterday seemed a decent crowd. I think the actual crowd, the French crowd, the French Open crowd, have been excellent for doubles. They're getting into it. They're watching almost every match I've watched, even in the latter stages of this week. And normally at slams, you normally get a lot of people watching at the start, and then there's less grounds passes, so there's generally less people watching doubles. But from what I've seen, that there's still loads of people in the ground and loads of people watching doubles. So from the crowds, I would say 10 out of 10. Um, the way the tournament treats the doubles players could be a bit better just in general, I think. In terms of, I mean, it's this tournament last year where I tried to book a practice court and I was for Henry and Harry, and I was asked, are they players or doubles? Which was quite an interesting question to have to answer.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, that is insulting. Okay. Okay. All right, we will hop off there, guys. Good luck tomorrow. Thanks a ton for doing this. I know y'all are super busy, and I really, really appreciate the time.
No, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, mate.
All right, all the best. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye bye.